So, welcome to another episode of Soundtrack of Our Lives. I'm here with Navneet today, and Navneet is a yoga, what would you call it, an instructor, a specialist, a yoga guru? What's the right word?
You can call it whatever you like, but yoga teacher maybe. That would be probably be good.
Very complicated words for no reason.
I don't think I can quite call myself a guru yet, but teacher I think would be nice. Yeah, absolutely.
And what's got you into yoga then?
So I had some problems actually some years ago. So I had a couple of health issues, and so it literally came about that way. I decided to take a trip with my mother. We went to India and we went to see an Ayurvedic doctor. So I don't know if you know much about the herbal. They're kind of like Indian medicine men or women as well, but people who, it's kind of an ancient 4,000-year-old science based on lots of, so they for some many years ago they created something called the Vedas. So one was Ayurveda, one was yoga, what are the other ones? One's Vastu, and the other one is the astrology. So you have your Indian astrology, and you also have something similar to Feng Shui, but it's actually about where everything should be in your house. So it's like where your sofa should be positioned. It's kind of like Feng Shui on steroids, because it's like it's really strict. So it's like the position of your front door should be this way, and the position of your cooker should be this way.
So have a meltdown here,
yeah, probably. I don't know what the positions are. You'd have to get the compass out and check that. But anyway, so they have this health system as well, which is all based on herbs.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of intertwined with the yoga thing. So I went on a kind of a health mission to try to look at how I can change my diet and things and lifestyle. Yeah. And so that's how I initially got into yoga. I got furloughed, and then during my furlough period, still working the same job, but when I was furloughed, I learnt how to teach yoga. So it was kind of a nice experience, because at the time of furlough it was actually really nice hot weather. So it was like 30 degrees. I was learning yoga. It was great. So so that's when I learnt to teach. I've been doing yoga for years though. Years going to retreats and things like that.
The teaching thing has only come about more as a kind of natural progression.
Yeah.
Because you've done it for so long anyway.
Yeah.
And you just felt like you wanted to maybe run some classes and help people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So exactly. So the idea behind it, I was learning a lot initially during that time. So when I got into a situation where I realised it helped me, because obviously I noticed an improvement with my health after doing the yoga. I noticed massive changes with my symptoms I was having. I wasn't having them anymore. So because of that, I noticed that it was beneficial. So that's what I guess spurred me on to learning to teach and then sharing it with other people. Yeah, exactly.
And then also, is that so different? That was.
Yeah. So it is unusual. It's different. It's more of a meditation, I guess, than a yoga. But usually if you were doing Yoga Nidra, if you were doing a long session of Yoga Nidra, 40 minutes or an hour or so, you'd usually probably do a bit of yoga beforehand. So in this session, in the study that I'm doing, it's a shorter session, so it's around 30 minutes, just to try and make it more accessible to people to actually stick to it, because I think asking people to do 40 minutes of yoga is sometimes maybe a bit too much for somebody. Maybe it's a bit of a big ask. So Yoga Nidra, it is different in the sense that it is more of meditation. It has similarities, I guess, to mindfulness meditation, because you could say that any kind of yoga or meditation is mindful, just because I guess you're there in the moment. you're just focusing on what's happening there and then, and you're also, you know, breathing. A big part of meditation is breathing.
It's a lot the old breath work,
the breath work. So a lot of it is mindful anyway. So sometimes we kind of separate, well, what's mindfulness meditation, what's the other kind of meditation, but really all kind of yoga's also known as mindfulness and movement, because you are just being present and you're focusing on what you're doing at that present time. So it has a lot of that element in there, but it follows a specific sequence. So the Yoga Nidra that I follow is by Swami Satchidananda Saraswati. Hope I'm getting my pronunciations correct. But yeah, so from those, this Swami Saraswati has brought the teachings over from India over to the West. So I suppose he's the first person to bring it over to the West. And he's made some publications and things and a lot of science and things behind it. The teachings, I guess, of Yoga Nidra are actually kind of much further. These kinds of teaching are actually in yoga for a very long time before even this publication has come about and things. So it's always been existing in Indian teachings in terms of yoga philosophy and all, you know, aspects for a long time. But the actual teachings that we've come to know have come from the Swami Satchidananda Saraswati. So that's the teachings that I go by. But the actual way that it's sort of run, so there's a lot of relaxation at the beginning. So it's trying to get you into the mood for relaxating. I was going to say.
We'll go with it.
Yeah. So it's just calming the self down and just teaching you just to relax and just to be present. And then it's something a bit unusual is going through all the parts of the body. So it's kind of a bit like inviting breath into your body, but it moves quite quickly through the different parts of the body. So always starting with the right hand. So you will start with the right hand thumb and then you work through the body. And the idea is just to invite relaxation into the body, but it's also about moving quite freely. So when you first do it, it can seem a little bit strange because you're moving quite quickly from one part to the other part of the body, and it's the minds might be thinking, what am I doing here? You know, the first time. Yeah, so helping you to relax and to de-stress. So so you go through the body parts, so all of your body, and trying to get those to relax. So that's all to get you to relax. And then you also go through counting of breaths. So there's different ways to do counting of breaths. You can count from, say, 27 to 1 or 54 to 1, but I decided to go for 27 to 1 because, you know, it's just a little bit easier, I think, for people to... I think, you know, when you're starting out doing it, it can 54. Seem a little bit stressful. Maybe doing 54 to 1 might seem too much, you know, for people to do. So, so it's counting of breaths, and that's another thing. And that's also just designed to help you to relax. And that is a key point where people might fall asleep because you're counting of your breaths independently, and you're getting more and more relaxed because as you're breathing and counting. But the idea is to stay awake and to it just helps to relax you even more. So when you're doing the Yoga Nidra, you're actually using different part of the brain. So you're accessing the delta brain waves.
Right.
Yeah, so they've done kind of brain images and things of the brain, and you're using completely opposite side of the brain to how how your brain would normally be when you're doing other things. Yeah. So you're doing you're using the opposite side of the brain, and because you're using the delta brain waves, it's the brain waves that you have when you're actually sleeping as well, so that you allow for like restoration and things like that in the body. So it is actually really good for the health in terms of restoring health, because you're actually getting those brain waves.
Kind of following a different part, or
exactly. And you're allowing some relaxation into your body and letting it get restored. And you know how when you're sleeping, the body works hard to fix things. You know, the body's active when you're sleeping, it's actually working. So it's like that, the body's actually working that time. They say that an hour's Yoga Nidra is equivalent to 4 hours sleep. I think that's right. I think that's an hour. Yeah.
It's like microwave sleep. You can cram a lot more into less time.
Yeah, exactly. But you're still recommended to sleep just as you normally would.
You can't skip just a bonus, bit of bonus recovery time.
Yeah, and then the rest of it. So the rest of the session, what do we do? So you're becoming aware of yourself, being on the floor, and having awareness of that as well. Actually, I've missed a part, which was the intention that you set for yourself. So actually, before you get into the breathing and going through all the body parts, you actually set yourself an intention for the actual class. So you can call it an intentional resolve. Really that is just setting something that you want to achieve. So it could be something like, it's really manifestation. So it could be thinking of something like, I want to achieve optimum health, or I want to heal, I want to let go. You could be wanting to help people, that could be one of your things that you want to do. It could be I want to succeed in everything that I do. But really, I think when they're looking at the types of things that you might be wanting to do, it is suited to your own aspirations. But usually it's probably the higher things, such as either doing something that is going to be to let go, heal, improve your health, help other people, those kind of things.
More of an overriding thing rather than I'd like
to get an A in my test or something.
But you can. That never worked for me.
But you can wish for these things too, and see how they work. But it's a manifestation, and the idea is that the longer that you do it for. So if you're going to manifest something like this through this practice, the idea is to do it over about a number of weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or something, because you're more likely to see progress over time than if you just do it straight away. And then the next parts are, there's a visualization that we covered. So that was a chakra visualization. So the idea of the chakra and actually I went through the psychic symbols for the chakras, which is interesting, because a lot of the time you might have chakra visualization using the lotus flowers as symbols. So the symbols, you might say, okay, imagine different types of lotus flowers, different colours with different amounts of petals, and then you'll work through the body that way. So I went through the psychic symbols, and the psychic symbols are things like red inverted triangle, fire. There's also the sunflower. So there's different symbols for different parts of the chakras. So waves on a vast ocean at night was representing the sacral chakra, and the representing the unconsciousness, and the sacral chakra is representing unconsciousness. So it's so that's going through all of those images that supposedly we have in our minds already. So this is what's believed, that we have these images, and so we can actually access these, and accessing all of these and visualizing the chakras in your body and the location of them in your body can actually release blockages. So that's the idea behind it, and the more that you do it, it's said that you can get these visualizations clearer in your head.
The more you practice, I suppose.
Exactly.
It just makes it easier to and what's the word? Visualise.
Exactly. And then you finish with the intention as well. So you finish at the end making a positive intention. So it's nice to have a nice positive intention to think of at the end. And then at the end again a bit more relaxation, and that's it. And that's pretty much the session. But it's a nice way of meditating. It's a different way of meditating.
A different take on it, isn't it?
Exactly.
With all of this, I know we're just talking all about the yoga, and you've not decided yet on a name as such. Because what I normally do is obviously I'll put in the description of the video a link to whatever someone's business or interest or venture is, So it might be a YouTube channel that's as of yet nothing on there.
Yeah.
But people can obviously subscribe to that, and then as you release content, so it might be these Yoga Nidra videos or guidance or whatever, they'll just appear on the page.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so we were going with Yoga with Navneet at the moment because my name's Navneet and it's yoga.
And it's yoga.
So that's what we're going with.
There's no confusion.
So, yeah.
You can arrive from what you get in and who it's with. So, So your first choice of song for today, you've picked 5 crackers here, really. You've picked Three Little Birds, of course, Bob Marley.
Yeah.
So what's the reason behind choosing that then?
So Three Little Birds then. So as you listen to the song, just the music, as you hear the actual music with Three Little Birds, it's just so upbeat, isn't it? So well, it's just so nice actually, just listening to the music. I always just find that I feel like I'm on the Caribbean islands when I'm there. I can imagine myself, so I can actually visualise myself there sipping some cocktails or
some really colourful drink, lots of stuff in it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that as soon as I hear the music, it just makes me happy.
I said that to you, didn't I? When you sang your songs through, I love Bob Marley, and that's my favourite song of his. I honestly can't imagine any person on earth who hears that and wouldn't smile immediately. I don't know what it is about that song, but the minute I hear it, it makes me smile. Yeah. It's impossible not to. It's that good, isn't it? Absolutely. It's so uplifting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly. It just makes you happy, and I don't know how he. It's an art I think Bob Marley has.
It's magic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's magic. So, and I just so that's one of the things. And then it's also like visualizing the little birds, because he goes into saying, oh, the 3 little birds, you know, and then you can just imagine them there. Like I just feel like I'm going he's taking me there to the Caribbean, and I'm there with the birds and I can hear them singing.
So, what kind of birds are they? I've never really looked into this.
I don't know actually, because I didn't visualise that far actually, because I guess in the Caribbean they could have parrots and all sorts, but they're not that little.
No, not little, are they?
Yeah.
I was thinking like little very colourful birds.
Colourful little
maybe
tiny
one yellow,
birds.
one blue, one red. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And then I think with the song, the whole message behind the song, don't worry about a thing. Everything's gonna be all right. So I think like any time, like when you go through difficult times in life, and sometimes life is up and down. You have your low times, and
of course,
and so whenever I've had any difficult times and I listen to that song, it just makes me happy. So it's
a beautiful song. It is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a song that I go to, and actually I told one of my friends that it was one of my favourite songs, and I was going to get a tattoo of the 3 little birds. Yeah. And she actually beat me to getting 3 little bird tattoo on herself, which was
That's that is out of order.
Yeah, she's not my friend anymore.
I don't blame you. I'd have cut her right out of your life. What sort of crap's that?
But in the actual song as well, like some of the things he says, like smile with the rising sun, it just reminds me of yoga type things too,
Yeah.
It just fits all in there. So I don't actually know if Bob Marley was a yogi, if he did that, I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but some of the things that he says are just really in line. He has the values and things of his songs, and he just wants to make people happy when he sings, and I just feel like it's just it just makes me happy, and I think I think that's that is
as good as it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's just full of joy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I watched a bit of the Bob Marley film. I can't remember what it's called, Legend or whatever, and actually didn't enjoy it because, and I know, we're talking about all the joy and things, but I think there was a lot of danger and violence around that time, and I'm like, this is not what I want to be watching a Bob Marley film for.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I wanted 3 little birds and Caribbean sunsets and sunrises and whatever. But anyway, I'm just came to me then. I just thought the film wasn't really what I wanted out of a Bob Marley story. So, but I don't think they're going to make me.
Is that the actual film? The recent film?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to see that, but I missed it in the cinemas.
Yeah, it was. it was not what I expected at all. Yeah, I thought, I don't know, I've watched about half an hour and turned it off.
Oh no, that's a shame.
Maybe the rest picks up, and maybe the birds make an appearance, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't watch it if you're expecting three little birds and sunrises.
Yeah.
You might be disappointed.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to move on from Bob for a moment, and on to second choice is Jackson 5, ABC.
Yeah, so I think with this song, it just brings me back to my childhood, because Michael Jackson, and so there was the Spice Girls and there was Michael Jackson. I don't know which album was the first one. I can't remember. But they're both great, and I just have to say about Spice Girls, girl power and everything. You know, they did
that
bring
almost
that
made
in.
it. We almost had a
that
Spice Girls track, didn't you?
Yeah, but then I couldn't pick a song, so I have to say that obviously girl power, that whole thing was great. So, and also equally with Destiny's Child, I guess they had all the girl power songs too. So so just had to mention that a little bit, because
just a little aside there.
Yeah, just because obviously that's important too. The Michael Jackson, so I couldn't work out which song really for this one. So the Jackson 5, the reason I picked this ABC song was one, it's just like how Michael Jackson sings. And it's really high pitched, and it's just like, hey, and at that time, in those days, that was the kind of music of those days. I don't know what year was that in, because maybe it was the 80s, 90s.
I mean, Jackson 5, I think was probably 70s.
The 70s,
late 70s maybe.
So I obviously watched that on a little bit later. They played it again, obviously didn't go out of the radio. No, it was still on at that time. But I guess more when I was younger, I saw sort of Michael Jackson when he was doing Thriller and that kind of thing, and he was howling and going ow, and we used to me and my brother used to try and do that wolf thing. We used to try and do that. That was a big thing that we did when we were kids. So we'd we'd be like dancing around to either the Spice Girls or Thriller, and trying to be werewolves or whatever as well at the same time. So that was a big thing of my childhood. So ABC, I guess, Michael Jackson's cute little kid there, so we can and it's just a cute song, and I just like the high pitchedness. I don't know how to explain it, because it's very upbeat too, and it's maybe a thing of that time, where, because you don't get songs like that anymore, do you? Where people singing like, I can't sing, so I can't do the singing.
I'm definitely not going to sing. No one will ever listen to this podcast again.
But I won't do the song any justice. But so I just like that, and again, like, they sing about ABC, that's how easy love can be, and it's just a nice message as well. It's just a nice uplifting, happy song, and I just think, how nice is that? So
from an innocent time,
from an innocent child,
it's not gangster rap.
A
much nicer lyric and message.
Exactly. It's very sweet. So I like that, and I like the fact that they're all family members too, which is nice. Little touch there too. So that's it. That's quite nice.
Family.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move on to a slightly newer song for your third choice, and this is Taylor Swift. So Shake It Off.
So I am a Swiftie. So if anyone,
that the official term, is it?
Oh
fans, a Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie.
That's what you have down the pub. Just go down a Swiftie.
I think everybody should be a Swiftie. Not being impartial here, but I am definitely a Swiftie. I don't know if she's near my age, so she's not. It's not like she's. I know most of her fans are teenage girls, but I think my age group also likes Taylor Swift and appreciates. I know even Julia Roberts appreciates Taylor Swift.
Exactly. So
there you go.
It's good enough for her.
Exactly.
Who are we to argue?
Exactly. So I just remember this song actually dancing around my flat when I was living in London with my friend, and we were just dancing around just like idiots basically, and it was just so fun. I just like, honestly, it's just so fun. You should try it. Like you know, just getting up and just putting it on and just start dancing around, like just like really clumsy, crazy dancing. And I think what I like about Taylor Swift and this song particularly is that she's just laughing at herself. She's very good at laughing at herself. So
she doesn't take herself seriously.
She doesn't take herself seriously, no. So she talks about stuff like one of the lines, it's something like, oh, what is it? Something like yeah, that's it. I'm lightning on my feet, and that's just what they can't see. So she just makes it, which is just funny because she can't dance and she knows she can't dance. And people,
right, okay.
Yeah, so people make fun of her dancing, but it's just a very funny thing to say in her lyric, I think, where she says, and that's just what they can't see, you know, because she's just making a joke of herself. She's making fun and light of herself, and I just think I just really like that humour in the song as well. I think her song's very clever, and I guess that's why she's so successful, because her lyrics are good, and she you know, she has good lyrics, and people can relate to it. And also, like with Taylor Swift, I guess her song as well, she kind of appeals to people who maybe are a bit geeky, maybe at school or whatever. So she kind of appeals to all the nerdy people as well a little bit. So it kind of appeals to my nerdy side as well.
Say, were you,
yeah.
Have you got this
maybe
underlying nerd at school?
Maybe a bit, maybe a little bit, not that much, but maybe a little bit.
How much? 50% nerd? What are we talking? You got levels, haven't you? Are you full nerd? You're not full nerd, are you?
Yeah, maybe like a half nerd.
Half nerd, yeah.
Yeah, so she appeals to that as well, because she's just got a bit of goofiness about her in that sense. So she appeals to all those people. So I think that I like that aspect because it's just funny. And then also she just talks about all the haters as well. So she says the haters are going to hate, you know, the fakers are going to fake. So she talks all about that as well, which is great, because it's just, you know, you do in life, you get people who are going to say things that are not very nice, or you get people who are going to, you know, just not going to...
People are going to say horrible things about
you,
because that's just people, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately... it doesn't matter what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the sound of this. I can't say I know much about her.
Yeah.
But she sounds quite grounded.
Yeah.
And like you say, sending herself up a little bit, and you know, it kind of stops people doing that if you do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So she's just saying, just shake it off. Like, who cares if people are going to say these things or do these things? And at some point, you know, at some point in your life, somebody's going to upset you. They're going to do something to upset you in whatever way it is.
Yeah.
But if you can just shake it off, laugh at it, say, oh, who cares? You know. And she's kind of saying it about her dancing, like so people have made comments about her. But then, you know how the media makes comments about celebrities and stuff like that, just to pick at them. But she's saying, "Oh, just shake it off. Who cares?" kind of thing. And it's just she's applying it to the same with everyone else in their life, saying, you know, haters gonna hate you. Who cares? You know, just you know, shake it off and don't worry about it.
Get on with it. Just do what you're gonna do. It's not their life, is it? It doesn't matter what they think. So,
exactly. And what an upbeat song to do it to, because when you actually do get up and start dancing around in your house with your flatmate, just like goofy teenagers, it's so fun. So you should, so I recommend that. You know, that's a bit of homework for you, Neil.
So after this, I need to put some Taylor Swift on.
And start like waving your arms around,
shaking it all off.
Shaking it all around. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna love it. So so I think. Yeah, so it's just really fun song. So I just think it's like just contagious. Like you know, when somebody's got good energy, it's just contagious. And I feel like that song has got such good energy. It's just contagious. And it just makes you have a really good time.
I've heard it a couple of times. It is a catchy song. It is a very uplifting, dancey song. So Yeah, who knows? I might become a Swiftie.
You might become a Swiftie, yeah.
I never rule anything out.
Yeah, but the concert tickets might be a little bit pricey though, because I think that I don't know how much they sell for, but maybe if Taylor Swift watches this, she can get some backstage.
Just a couple of VIP passes.
Number one fan,
Well, you never know who tunes in. Maybe we'll tag her in the video and see if she'll appreciate the mention. And then, and your fourth choice is someone who's definitely not going to watch the video, because we're going back again to Bob Marley. And you're the first person to pick 2 songs from the same artist. Just worth mentioning for podcast posterity. The first person that's ever done that.
Well, so really interestingly with this podcast, for me it was really difficult to come up with 5 songs in the first place. So I was thinking, what are my actual ultimate 5 favourite songs? So I had to kind of break it down a little bit into what I felt were feel-good songs or songs that made me happy. So Bob Marley just sprung to mind in
come back again,
songs that make me happy basically. So and I think that Bob Marley deliberately tried to do, and funnily enough I don't really all the time listen to the songs, which is really interesting, because these songs, they're not my everyday songs that I listen to, because I do often listen to what new music or whatever's happening at the any new songs that come on, and a lot of variety of songs, but it's interesting because when I sat down and thought about the songs, it's like, actually, I do like quite a few of Bob Marley's songs. But I think he did want to, one of his messages was to like make people happy and make people happy through music and things. So,
the song you've picked is One Love. I don't know if I said that a second ago. And it's that message again, isn't it? It's just trying to get people to just be together and unite and not keep fighting, and which is there's too much of it in the world everywhere, isn't it? But we're not going to get into all the political side. But just that message from Bob Marley was, we're all just people, aren't we? And just trying to get on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's so that's such a nice, beautiful message, and it's also in line with all the yoga stuff, that I like. So all this oneness, like you've said, we're all together, thinking of people as a community, and getting on as one is just a really positive message, and something that I believe in as well. Just that connection with people. To everyone being together and being happy can be a way for people to be happy, and again it's really uplifting to just listen to the music part even before he starts singing is somehow really uplifting. So he really does magic with the music to make it sound I don't know because I know that a lot of people do sound baths and all of that, and there's a lot of things about how that's good for you in terms of the different sounds and
all the frequencies and things,
So I don't know if the frequencies of the music that Bob Marley's made have been just somehow really amazingly in tune to making you happy, because it's just the sounds, they have that impact. So maybe I don't know how he's done this. Like
I wish I could play it. Unfortunately, we can't play the songs because YouTube just strips them off, doesn't it, for copyright. But I wish I could play the intro to the song because it is just so good. So we are going to
everything with the Bob Marley songs with this One Love, it's just uplifting, and it just automatically makes you happy, and then he says things like give thanks and praise. He says to the Lord, and I'm not religious, so that bit maybe I don't follow so much, but it's the give thanks and praise, which I like. It's the gratitude. I like that aspect, and he's saying give thanks, give gratitude, and I really like that, because as well, like lately I've been doing journaling and things, so writing in my journal, gratitude journaling, and
gratitude's always a part.
Exactly, just writing things about today, I've got I've got nice trees, you know, outside in, you know, when I go for a walk, and that I can see horses or whatever on my walk, or I see ponds. Like, you know, I've been reflecting on things, just normal things. Like, I'll go for a walk and then I might write about it. Like today I saw some horses or I saw a dog today, you know. And it was nice and I stroked it and I was happy, you know. Like really little things. I
suppose what you call the small things in life that you take for granted. And actually, who was I talking to? I can't remember. You know, you talk to that many people, don't you? And someone was talking about this very thing, and how when specifically younger kids are just full of joy at little things, and we lose that as adults, don't we? We kind of lose that ability to actually go, well, you know what? Seeing a dog is really cool, or you know, seeing some horses in the field by work is actually a really nice experience. And we just brush it off and get on. I need to go back and do another 47 emails or whatever. And we're losing out on a lot, aren't we, I think?
Absolutely, exactly. So kids are so in tune to just all these little things, and they're so happy with just going to I remember when I was a kid and we just went on holiday to, I think there was just like a park thing, you know, it was a caravan holiday actually, but there was a little park to play in, and I remember it being one of my best holidays. But it was all that, you know, kids are just so satisfied with small things like that. Oh, I went to the park and played on some, you know, swings or whatever. They're happy with things like that. But when you get to adulthood, you get, you know, less and less happy and appreciative of all these things, you know. So you want more and more. But so that giving praise and thanks, and you know, when I've been going on my walks and reflecting and things, and I just felt more like I appreciated things more, you know, like just nature and things around me and all of these things. So I just really like that, the whole give thanks and give praise aspects, and the togetherness, it's kind of a little bit spiritual as well, I feel, the song. Like, I feel like Bob Marley's quite a deep person, you know. I'd like to meet him if, you know, he was around now. I could, you know, hang out with him. Pretty cool,
I agree. I think he would be what's that, the sort of the dream dinner party guest thing, isn't it? If you like,
if you could have a party with somebody,
10 people to your dinner party. And I think Bob Marley would be on a lot of people's lists actually, because he's a very interesting guy with everything he's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we've got one more, Navneet. We have your last choice, which is the legend that is John Lennon. And probably his most famous track, I would say, is Imagine.
So really weirdly, I didn't actually know about this song until my mother told me about this song. It's actually my mother's favourite song.
Right.
I didn't even know the song existed, which is crazy. But
a little crazy,
but it was some years ago that she told me about the song. So you know, I have known about it for a while.
How old were you when you found out about the song?
I can't remember. Sorry. Roughly.
Are we talking like,
oh my gosh,
like 5 or 6?
No,
teenage
maybe
years?
20. So not. You
got to 20 before you knew that Imagine was in the world.
Wow. And actually, the funny thing is, I even went to New York when I was 21, and I took a picture next to the Imagine. You know, the Imagine. The Imagine sign, and my mate was like, "Oh yeah, this is, you know, Imagine the John Lennon." I was like, yeah, cool, you know. She goes, we've got to get a picture here. I said, oh, all right then, awesome, you know. Because obviously, as you do, you like to get photos and stuff when you're on holiday, travelling or whatever. But so I did that way before I even knew about the song, which is funny. But it's great because now I've got a picture of something that I love, so it's great. But so it's my mum who told me about the song. It's her favourite song, but it's actually one of my favourite songs, I'd say, ultimately. And again, it's just the message. So the music is lovely as well, but it's just the singing and the message behind it. So it's just about imagine just really a peaceful living in a peaceful place where there wasn't. Idyllic. Yeah, very idyllic, and with all the things I suppose happening in the world at the moment, and that has always happened in the world, it would be nice to actually have no division. I think that's one thing that, you know, sort of says, imagine that there's no countries, you know, nothing to kill or die for, you know. So all of the things, even, you know, he talks about religion and things like that. And I guess I did a bit of sociology when I was at doing my A-levels and things. We did a bit of sociology of religion a little bit as well. So I guess I just find it interesting, all of that aspect as well, that I think, you know, I'm not to knock anyone's beliefs at all, or religious beliefs, because obviously some people are religious and it brings them great joy, so not to say anything against that, but it's more about just, I suppose, people accepting one another. Yeah. So, you know, whatever somebody's beliefs are, not having that rule you, because in some senses with some people it can, or whatever country you come from, that can rule you as well. So I suppose it's just his message is really nice to say that, just imagine that there's nothing to divide us. I guess that's the ultimate message, is that, yeah, just imagine a world where we don't have anything to fight over. Yeah, so he also says things like, you know, imagine not having any possessions. And I've never really been somebody who's been very materialistic, actually. That's something to, and it's kind of in my family not to be very materialistic. But, and I remember one of my housemates was saying it once. She said, Nav doesn't really consume much. Like, she doesn't buy a lot of things. Like, because a lot of people do. They buy a lot of things and then they just hoard a lot of stuff. And it was just interesting that she noticed that I didn't buy a lot of things. But yeah, it's never really been that of an interest to me, to be materialistic, to be honest. But it's just a nice message. I know that they spent some time in the ashram as well, the Beatles, over in India. So there's a bit of a theme with all of my, well, a lot of them are a bit on the yoga side.
Kind of links back to that. What would you, it's not maybe a mindset and a vibe and all on that same level, really, of just. Yeah, absolutely.
So and then he sings about sort of no greed or no, you know, hunger and, you know, brotherhood of man. So just all of those things as well. People, you know, you do find now, you know, nowadays people can be quite greedy and they can be quite individualistic and, you know, I want this, me, you know, push the person out the way, it's mine, you know. But it would be nice that people just share things a bit, you know, not you know, because there are people going hungry, I suppose, in the world, and they don't need to, you know, people don't need to go hungry in the world that we live in, and even, you know, we see it in the UK, people going to food banks and things, and these kinds of things shouldn't really be happening here or anywhere in the world. So it's a, you know, the greediness, and there's a lot of greediness, I guess.
There is a lot, and it's and it is a shame. It's a shame that more people don't show that kind of attitude of compassion and togetherness and community and things. But actually, I think there's probably more of it than maybe people are aware of. But there's definitely too much greed and ignorance and selfishness out there as well, on the same order, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that so yeah, and then he kind of says, you know, you may think I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one, and that's just a nice little message, you know. And I see myself as a bit of a dreamer as well, so you know, just, you know, maybe it sounds unrealistic or whatever, to kind of wish for those kind of things, but he kind of, you know, he says that, and he says hopefully you'll join us, you know, one day, and all that kind of thing. So it's just kind of like he's building a little movement type thing, which is quite nice. But well, he might maybe try to make a little movement and that didn't work, but you know, it's just a nice message again of togetherness. We're all one, let's all be happy and be, you know, let's all live happily and just be, not fight with each other.
I like it. It's been a lovely message running through all your choices, really, and cool.
Thank you.
I think unless there's anything else you'd like to add to those, or anything that you've missed maybe that you want to bring up, but otherwise I think we're almost wrapped up.
Yeah, I think that's it, and I think it just ties into all the sort of yoga aspects and things that I like, and it's just ties into all of that, and my values, I guess, so hopefully you like my choices.
Yes, I hope so, and we'll put links to them in the in the description, even not the comments, in the description below, so people can go and have a listen. Who knows, maybe someone else hasn't heard Imagine. And this might be their first listen to this classic. So go and have a listen to the songs and let us know what you think. But yeah, thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.